So, let's say you have a premium general ascended to 1 star and you have a free-to-play general ascended to 5 stars. Which do you think is better? That's what we're going to go through here. Hi, and welcome to Red Evony. I am Akayasha. You can call me Aka. For a lot of free-to-play players, this is probably a question that they've asked themselves or asked around several times. Now, being free-to-play, you have access to all the free-to-play generals that are available in the tavern and in the relics. But once in a while, you might get lucky and get your hands on a premium general. Maybe you might get tokens from the champions and you get a new general. Maybe you might even get an extra copy to ascend the general to 1 star. So the question now is, should you go ahead with the new premium general that you've gotten, ascend them to maybe 1 star or so? Or since you're free to play, should you stick with the generals that you have from the tavern and from the relics, fully ascend them and go with that? Well, we're going to try and take a look at it here. But before we hop right in, let's have a quick word from the sponsors of this video. Roll out the confetti, guys, because Amazon is back. The Amazon App Store is back with discounts for Evony players. Players in any of these regions with Android devices will be able to take advantage of this offer. And players in the US will get an additional offer that they can take advantage of using the Amazon App Store and with Amazon coins, which you need for purchases in the App Store. To get set up, there's a link in the description of this video, which you can click on, or you can use the QR code that you see on the screen right now. The link and the QR code will take you to the landing page for Evony. There, if you scroll down, you will get the option to download the Amazon App Store if you don't have it already. After downloading the App Store, you will then need to download Evony through the App Store. Once you're done with that, then you come here and you use this to get Amazon coins. You will get discounts depending on how many coins you get, and in-game, you will get additional discounts depending on the packages you purchase. And that's about it. So, if you're interested and excited about this offer, again, use the link in the description or use the QR code on the screen to get you set up with getting discounts on Amazon. Okay, now back to the video. For the first example that we're going to look at, let's look at range generals. So the free-to-play option for the range general that we're going to look at is Electra. Okay, Electra is available in the relics, and if you grind hard enough, you will eventually get enough fragments for Electra to fully ascend her. I think pretty much everyone knows that already by now. And let's say for the premium general that you managed to get your hands on, let's say you got Merlin. Okay? Now, these are Electra stats fully maxed out, fully ascended, all specialties, everything done. This is what she has. Okay? Now, Merlin, this is what Merlin has when we fully max out his specialties. Okay? So you've maxed out his specialties. This is what he gets. Now, as we're saying, maybe you have an extra copy of Merlin so you can ascend him to 1 star. Okay, that's great. By the time you ascend Merlin to 1 star, this is what you're going to get. And of course, don't forget, Merlin being a newer general, you have his covenant as well. So let's say you did his covenant. This is what you will get. Okay? And these stats for both Electra and Merlin does not include the small ascension stats that you get when you do, as you go along. These are just the main stats that you get from the ascension skills and from covenant and everything. Now, let's compare. The first thing I want us to go through before we even look at these skills is that premium generals tend to have better base stats than free-to-play generals. Electra is a bit of an exception, but we compare. Let's look at Merlin and Electra. These are their base skills. Okay? And if you wanted to check this even further, let's look at someone like Alfred versus Merlin, because Alfred is another free-to-play range general, and you can see the difference. So premium generals tend to have better base stats. Okay, that's fine. Now we come back to the stats that we had. And as you can see, Merlin ascended 1 star with Covenant done, specialties done, is better than Electra, has better stats than Electra fully maxed out. However, there is one issue that comes up when you are looking at generals like this, and that is march size. Okay? March size, Merlin gets 5% for the setup that we're looking at here. Electra fully maxed out gets 16%. That's a significant difference. So, what we can tell is that while the premium generals will be slightly better with the stats, the march size might tend to favor the free-to-play options because they are fully maxed out. So, one key factor when you are trying to determine whether a premium general will be better than a free-to-play option is how much march size can you get out of that premium option at lower star levels, at 1 star, 2 stars, because that's going to be the key factor. You're going to max out your free-to-play option. So for the premium to be better, the march size has to be close to par with it on an earlier level. Okay, so we looked at Electra and Merlin here. Now, as we did earlier, let me bring Alfred, because Alfred is also another free-to-play option for ranged. And these are his stats here. So you can see Merlin has the better stats. But here's the key thing. Alfred only has 6% march size, and he has 8% rally size. If the rally size is important to you, then that's a consideration, but the march size, 6%, while Merlin gets 5%. This march size difference will not be enough for a fully maxed out Alfred to be better than a 1-star Merlin. So in this case, with this kind of difference, the 1-star Merlin, in my opinion, is going to be better than the 5-star Alfred. And those are the kind of things that you need to take into consideration. Okay, so we've looked at range option now. Let's put range option aside. Let's try and look at ground, for example. And in this case, I'm going to bring Maida here. Okay, Maida is a pretty standard free-to-play option. He's available in the relics and he's a decent ground general. So if we take Maida as our free-to-play option, and then we want to compare him to, let's say, one of the premium options that we have around. Let's say Sushet, for example. Okay, so this is what Maida gets fully maxed out, and this is what Sushet gets when you do his specialties fully maxed out. Then when you do his first ascension and his covenant, this is what Sushet gets. Okay, it's very close, I know. But when we look at the base stats, I think Sushet has the upper hand. And yeah, overall, I would give Sushet the upper hand in this one. But remember that Maida has the 6% march size and the rally size as well. So those are things that you probably want to take into consideration when you're looking at which one will be better for you. But of course, remember that with premium generals, if you get more fragments, you can ascend them more. Naturally, they're going to become better because premium generals just are better. Okay? And then you have a similar situation with the mounted generals. Okay, you will need to go through these details like we've done for the range and for the ground. However, if you are looking at siege generals, then I can tell you categorically, don't bother. There are no free-to-play siege generals that are better than a 1-star premium siege general. So my best advice for you would be, if you get any premium siege general like Petronas or Mu Kunying or Gunther, just go with that, okay? There is no free-to-play option that is anywhere near as good for siege. Let's summarize what we have here, okay? The first point is that premium generals would, in most cases, have higher buffs than free-to-play generals. And in a lot of cases, your maxed out free-to-play generals will have higher march size and rally size than a 1-star premium general. So the main difference now comes when you're looking at whether the maxed out free-to-play general has more march size or rally size than the 1-star premium general. The next point to note here is that for free-to-play generals, while you can easily get their fragments at pretty much any point in time, for premium generals, there's a tendency that you'll be able to get more fragments as time goes on. And of course, you want to pay attention to the freemium generals, okay? Those are the premium generals that come about in events and things like that that you can get every once in a while. And the most significant of such events is Trial of Nights. So in Trial of Nights, you can get some decent freemium generals that will be better than the free-to-play options that you can get. And if you are steady with it over time, you could be able to get enough fragments to do some decent ascension on the freemium generals. So that's that. Then the next thing would be considering assistants for these generals. This will obviously vary depending on the general type that you're looking at. So if you want help for picking assistants for your generals, then check out this video here where we go through all the necessary steps you need for picking your best assistant general. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Aka signing out.